Next, emergency preparedness. Okay. So emergencies can occur in every organization. So it is important that we understand, we assess what emergencies occur. So we take appropriate arrangements because these emergencies can quickly escalate to a very worsening conditions. So in order to bring, a situation from worse to bad, it is important to have emergency preparedness. So a typical workplace, will have these emergencies. Emergencies related to fire, medical emergencies, a chemical spill, very much applicable for organizations who store or handle or, transport chemicals, security threats. Okay. So it is important to understand what are the basic emergency procedures. So in case of a fire emergency, you raise the alarm and then immediately you start the evacuation process. Okay, so everybody will have a role during each of these emergencies. So in case of fire emergency, there would be a fire warden who takes charge of the fire evacuations. And as an individual, I should follow the escape route. Okay, so immediately I should start moving because these all will be done during the employee induction. Okay, so as an employee, it is important for them to familiarize with the procedure. If I do not know the procedure, if I do not know where is my nearest exit, or if I do not understand the fire exit sign, or if I do not know how to use a fire extinguisher, then all this will escalate into a chaos process. Okay, so familiarization is important, and this is done through regular drills. Okay, so as an employee, they should, their actions should be very spontaneous during these emergencies, because these are emergencies. You cannot wait. Every second is important to save your life. And the drill purpose is also to check the effectiveness of the procedures that you have. So for example, during the fire drill, you have noted that it took like 8 minutes for all the occupants to evacuate. Now, 8 minutes is a lot of time. So you cannot afford your people to take 8 minutes to evacuate. So it should be under 5 minutes. So now you're going to assess why they took a longer time to evacuate. Number one, okay, is it because they are not aware of the emergency exits, or is it because the fire alarm is not audible in that particular area, or is it because of the behavior of the people where they are delaying their evacuation by collecting their belongings? And so it helps you to assess the existing arrangements and then to make on the improvements. Or it could also be because the fire alarm did not function. Okay, so all this will have to be assessed as part of emergency preparedness. Okay, so today I have, we try to cover some of the basics of in terms of awareness to safety. Okay, so when we talk about awareness, on a top note, it is important to understand what a management system is, and then the very basic fundamentals where it starts with the why to manage health and safety. Okay, so people as a everybody should understand it is everyone's responsibility to manage health and safety in the workplace. And then the concept of risk assessment, why to carry out a risk assessment, what are the 5 generic steps of risk assessment, and then the hierarchy of controls. So whenever you're implementing a control, you should always have the hierarchy approach. And how are these hazards classified? Okay, and then the importance of safety culture. Now this safety culture, it has been for a very longer years, but particularly after 1970s, safety culture, it took its prominence because there are some major industrial accidents like the Bhopal gas tragedies, or the Piper Alpha disaster, or the Chernobyl nuclear incidents. So all these major industrial accidents, it took, you know, everybody started noting the importance of the safety culture in the workplace. Okay, so safety culture is something that could be easily overseen. So it is not about blaming the worker. Okay, so it's become a practice to blame a worker for an accident. So rather blaming the worker, you should find reasons what are the factors that contributed the worker to the accident. Okay, so my unsafe behavior has resulted in an accident. So that doesn't mean that I should be blamed. You should find reason for the reason behind that unsafe behavior. Okay, so only when you find the reason behind the unsafe behavior, you can address the root cause. Rather blaming the worker, the same behavior will reoccur. So if you look at all these major industrial accidents, most, has been the root cause sitting with the failure in the management, whether it could be a simple, miscommunication, or it could be a very simple procedure not followed. So the root cause should be addressed. Okay. And then we covered about the emergency preparedness. So again, each of these topic is it's a very distinct topic which emphasizes on the importance of health and safety. So today I've just tried to bring out the general awareness by covering many different distinct topics.